People keep asking why we not unified. But what if the real answer is simple? When the father got pulled out the home, everything else collapsed behind it.
I'm back quiet.
Wait, I gotta add to what you add when you was talking about 1963 or whatever. You know what key point you forgot too? Why I feel like why we're not unified, because they took that father out of the home. See, when we rebelled during that time and started that Civil Rights Act, fathers was very present at that time. And I think it's so important for Black men to be in a home to show examples. They are the foundation of that home. For its comparison, when I was telling you, a lot of the prominent rappers like Jay-Z, all of the ones that talk about like negative stuff towards Black men, anyone you can name, none of them have fathers. But then when you look at the ones that fathers was active in their life, like Nas and, Busta Rhymes, their message and their music is a little bit more liberating and a little bit more different. They don't always just talk, you know what I mean? It's just like Nas came out with that, if I rule the, you know what I mean? His father was present. So that's why even in the music industry, if you're trying to be an artist, you most likely you won't make it as one if you had a dad in your life, because they know you're not about to talk about killing Black men when you have a father and you love Black men. But if that Black man wasn't present, you hate niggas because your dad was gone, especially your mom, because you probably feel like she had something to do with running them off. So I think that it's important that Black man be in that home, and that's when you see like more people like we had Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all of these great abolitionists and activists and civil rights movements, because the fathers was present. Now today we don't have fathers in the fucking home, and people
And what
forget
took him
how
out,
important that
Cairo?
man
So you and
is.
I are right about the crack thing. Because think about
Crack,
this:
and that's what
it was
started
crack,
off.
right? Not to go
Crack
backwards.
and welfare. Crack, welfare, and Section
I would
8.
say crack. So you're right. Crack is at the top. Here's why. Give me a
Crack is
shot
at
at
the
this.
top. I agree with you at
Is
that,
that
because you
we
got to
agree on that,
remember,
Cairo? Right. Crack is
Jamie
at the
is
top.
younger than us.
And
Jamie
Yeah, it's
and
true.
everybody
Good
on this
point.
panel,
Good
they're
point.
younger than us.
Good point. Good
I
point.
don't care
Jamie didn't
about
see
what
it.
you're saying.
You
I
didn't see
feel
it, Jamie.
Cause
Ask
Jamie
your
way young.
OGs in
Jamie, what
Memphis,
you in
bro.
your 20s
That
or
crack
early 30s?
devastated
He
our
didn't
shit.
see it.
it
Why he
don't
don't
matter.
really understand it? We saw it.
It don't
Because if
Saw
matter.
it.
you look in the 70s, families were still like the no.
That's right.
Let
I
me
said
say
that
in the
earlier.
60s.
Yes.
There was when that crack came out in that fucking 70s, that shit and everything else tripled in after that. That's when the fathers started being out of the homes, the rap music and all of this shit came. They had animosity towards Black men. But them drugs, that crack, that's at the top of the food chain, because
It's at the
it's
top.
all, yeah, it's at the top. I seen it. Me and you lived through it. They didn't. You gotta remember they're younger than us.
That's
We
real.
not
I
Well,
gonna, you know what I
appreciate that.
mean?
Yeah, go ahead.
let me address the super chats real quick. Then I'm gonna share a video of a brother kind of breaking down what y'all talking about, and then everybody can react to it.
All right. And Cairo, you got a homegirl in the comment section shouting you out too from Nola.
I didn't see
My
it. Let
bad,
me
Jack.
see.
Yeah, so shout out to DeMarc. He said, would y'all consider the U.S. going down the route of a third world country at the
That
rate?
ain't gonna happen because we about to grab the wheel. What's about to happen? Here's my prediction, and I'm prepared to be wrong. The whites in the South and NBAs, Native Black Americans, we're about to not lock arms, but stand on nationality and get this nation back where it needs to be without us trying to be. We don't need to extend no olive branches of any of that shit. One thing both of us have in common, NBAs, Native Black Americans, the rednecks in the South, is nationality. That's all we need in common. We don't have to get along with them, but we about to get this house in order. This DV, this ain't about to be no third world country. I mean, look, check this out, DV. The United States is the wealthiest economy in the world, right? California is the fourth wealthiest economy in the world. Black America is the 10th wealthiest economy. Wealthiest, I'm speaking proper as possible. The 10th wealthiest economy in the world. So that's three economies in the top 10. United States, California at number 4, Black America at number 10. Where's the third world country, homie?
Well said. Let me go to the next super chat. Shout out to B. She said, welfare broke the Black family because it cut the woman's eligibility if a man lived there that
Told you.
she was not married to. Yes,
Yep.
Cairo, great lines,
Yep.
concur. But I talked about this before you came in, but yeah, them separating, but I'm saying that's the biggest part. Them separating us is bigger than the freaking crack. I'm telling you. Because if you're a crack addict, let's say a family, a married couple get on crack. they both on crack. They gonna stay together on crack. That's what's gonna happen.
Jamie,
They're gonna.
That's not true.
Mhm.
That's not.
Go
You're gonna
ahead,
be
Cairo.
dysfunctional as a motherfucker.
Get him,
But I
Cairo.
know so many. First off, ain't no get them shit because I know so many right now, crack addicts, meth heads, all of that are happy couples right fucking
Oh my
now.
God. Where they
They
at?
are happy couples on drugs because they're both on drugs. They share an addiction. Now, if one is on it and the other is not, then they'll be a little different. But what I'm saying is that anything that gets in the way that separates the man and the woman is way worse than you just putting them on drugs and they recover.
Jamie,
So
are
now
you
I got.
familiar
Now I'm
with
about to
black
get it.
fathers? You were saying something, Cairo?
No, go ahead. You go.
Are you familiar? And I know cases of this. Remember, black men were oppressed and emasculated. The women wasn't. So they would give our women jobs. When I say our women, I'm talking for like the baby boomers. So that's our parents, or for some of us, our grandparents' generations. So the black father would be so depressed that he couldn't contribute to the household. He would leave the household and the family and end up smoking crack because he felt less than a man. Damn, I can't even take care of my own family. This crackers give my wife a job. They won't give me one. And a lot of our fathers went to
Bro,
the
I feel
street.
like, but he's
Jamie,
having
what
what
year
I'm
were you
saying
born?
right
In the
now.
90s or the 80s?
You said what?
You was born in the
It
80s or
started
the
in the
90s?
80s. The
Damn, so
fathers,
not born in the 80s.
remember, Cairo, the 70s, the Black Panthers did
So
a
he was
great
in the 90s.
job
Jimmy, you was
fighting
born
off
in
the
the
heroin.
90s?
Yeah, I was
Jimmy,
born in the 90s. The hell?
you was so you was
Age
born in
on
the
me.
90s, right? Rest my case.
That don't
I'm
mean
glad you
shit.
do.
No,
That don't
rest
mean
my
nothing.
case. My fucking case.
Hey,
You ain't resting nothing.
hey, Jamie, y'all generate anybody from y'all
Baby
generation,
born
and
in the
let me say this
90s. Oh
respectfully,
my
because y'all
God.
generation, Cairo, you remember this term, the crack babies?
Yeah,
If you a
listen.
90s baby or
Yes.
a 80s baby and your parents wasn't on crack, praise the creator. Real speak. The
You know
80
something? Your
babies and the
mama was
90
on
babies were
crack,
considered
Rob.
the crack baby generation. That's how bad it was, Jamie.
Well,
So
guess
I
what? Neither one of my parents was on
praise the
crack.
creator, homie. Praise
But
the
guess
creator. I
what?
bet a lot of
They
your homies
were a victim of the other circumstances that I'm fucking. So
That's why. But I'm going to tell you something. Even if you research this, and this what they was afraid of, the Caucasian people, they realized when family was unified, we were too strong. We were too powerful. We had our own communities. We started to practice black economics. So they had to come up with something that would destroy those homes. Listen, crack was formulated in a lab for a specific purpose to do a specific thing, and that was to divide and break down the families. This is factual. They signed that shit into law. It was called the silent weapon, the deadly war, and the agenda was
I'm
to
familiar with that.
destroy the black families, the black communities, and they had to do it very subtly, so you wouldn't even know that it would be affecting you. And a lot of us, even in this generation, are suffering from that. Because let's go back retrospectively speaking, prior to that, it was unity in the 60s. The fathers were still in that home. It wasn't until that crack came out to, like Ty say, fathers was depressed because they were giving women opportunities because they felt threatened of the men wouldn't giving them nothing. But some of them sisters were still helping the brothers. They were still going through it with the struggle with them, and that shit wasn't working. So they had to find out a different way, an approach to attack without us even realizing it was an attack. That's why they named it that. So me and Taj grew up in that area where we saw the dynamic of that crack shit where it destroyed the family. And if you on crack, you have some people that's functioning addicts. Yes, that's true. I'm not denying that. I have relatives that's functional addicts. I have friends that's functional addicts. But the mass majority of people, the ones we see around on the street, suffering from schizophrenic, homeless, begging for money, they are victims of that shit. And half of those people, IQs were high. But that crack destroyed them. That's why
true.
Tupac
I
said in
remember
his
that.
song,
Imagine that,
yes.
Cairo. Keep going. You
Like what
cooking, girl.
Tupac said in his song, damn near all of the genius and the talented people are locked up in the state penitentiary and they were victims of crack. So that's what
That
I'm
shit
telling
was,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, that shit destroyed. Because you look at half of them people on the street, half of them motherfuckers have high IQs. They were psychologists. or had some type of career and fell victim to crack. And then when you form a relationship with them, I'm gonna tell you, tell somebody my name, a regular person, they don't even know what the fuck Cairo means. I'll give a homeless person $1. They'll be like, "Oh, thank you. What's your name?" I'll say Cairo. They'll be like, "Oh, like the capital in Egypt." Their IQs are high. They know
Yes, it
exactly, because you got
was.
to remember, they study genetics. They study DNA. They are studying us even when you're not paying attention. This is how the white people do. Just look at them when they're out there in nature, or when they attach a microscopic camera to an ant back to watch how he developed his colony. They study you in order to know what they can do, what provokes you, what don't. Watch Tibby. It's on YouTube where they set up little tracks where they go to a black community and a white man will go to an ATM and they'll put a $20 bill in the machine and act like they forgot it. Just to see if you're going to take it, or you're going to turn around and ask him or tell him, "Hey, you forgot your 20." And 90%, I'm
Mm.
going to say 99% of the all black people took that $20 bill.